to Unplug the Connection series. Today we're going to be discussing whether technology needs its own Hays Code. I'm Cleopatra.
I'm Caitlin.
I am Amy.
So, when we were brainstorming for this video, we decided that while we're encouraging everyone to unplug, we want to talk about how you can use technology in.
I still have my name as Martha.
Oh, you see
So sorry. Nobody even noticed.
No.
I would have went through that whole video. I would have went through the whole video.
See that?
You started talking and I was like,
I'm like, why are you laughing at me?
I'm going to shut the window real quick. That was really funny.
Didn't know why you were laughing at me. Like, what did I do? Caitlin wasn't laughing, so.
And then my dog's like about to tear down the door, but she won't go outside when I open it. No.
Don't worry, we don't have a cake baking today. We just have Martha and
If
Reese's
you need
and
to get up to
go
let her
outside.
in or out, go ahead during the video. We're good. But sorry, Cleopatra. I put on Martha and neither one of you even seen it. So thought I better change it.
You're good.
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Unplug the Connection series. Today, we're discussing if technology needs its own Hays Code. I'm Cleopatra.
I'm Caitlin.
I am Amy.
So, when we were brainstorming for this video, the reason that we bring it up like this is because while we're encouraging everyone to disconnect and unplug, we also want to share how technology can be used in healthy ways and wise ways because we do feel it's a useful tool. It allows us to record these videos for you. And so we want to just talk about the idea of self-censorship while using technology, and basically almost it kind of comes down to self-discipline, even if you took it to a more simple level. And so we wanted to discuss our thoughts on that and how it can be used in healthy ways and kind of what we think are guidelines or parameters of how you can go about using it in those healthy ways.
Well, and the Hays Code, we heard about it from Michael Knowles, and it was from 1934 to 1968, which 1968 was the year of chaos, which things really started spiraling down in our country. It started even more, and you can look that up for more details of that. But, that was more geared towards movies, but we were talking about anybody that has any kind of technology that can create anything for anybody in this whole world that can see. We are uncensored. That's kind of scary. When they were just talking back then of having the Hays Code specifically for movies, because that was through the technology. Now, anybody any age that can run a device can create and put it out in the world. That's scary. The Europeans are starting to say, or they've been saying, but they're saying, hey, we need standards because we all have to learn to self-censor and have our own standards because, unless parents and, who's going to ultimately, it'd have to go to the government. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think we pick up our phones, it's just instant access, and then you're still on that phone 45 minutes later, and that was unintentional. It's just a habit that we build. And so technology can be a tool. That's what it should be, is a tool. And the problem is how and when we use it. And I think wisdom is knowing when to pick it up and when to put it down or just leave it away. God gave us, he with technology, he gave us creativity, he gave us innovation. Cleopatra and I connected with her family through technology, which was a wonderful thing. Phones can help
Mhm.
us connect, they can help us learn and encourage and even spread the gospel. But the danger comes in when our phone starts controlling us instead of serving us, maybe is a way to put it. So is your phone helping you live intentionally, or is it distracting you from intentional living?
Mm. And I think that, like Mom was saying, anyone can create any kind of content or anything and put it out there. And so when we say that there should be self-discipline or self-censorship, we are encouraging people to stop and think before using the technology, but then also before you're putting stuff out in the world too. Is it going to bring healthy and wise people into my life, or is it going to bring the opposite? And so I think it's a matter of that's why it ultimately boils down to each person instead of having to have this. I agree that there should be standards, but right now, without any kind of standards, we have to start that. And like we say in all our videos, we have to be willing to be the first to step up, whether it's in our family or in our friend group or in our community or whatever it is, and just start doing that. That doesn't mean that you have to go putting it out there in the world that you're doing it. It's great to talk to people or anything like that, but if you just start doing it and then you talk to your family about it or whoever it is, that is the best way for it to become effective and become more, I don't know what the right word would be, but like naturally when people see someone who is being more responsible with their technology, I feel like it's going to convict them. And we've talked about this, you can't change anyone else, you're not going to force anyone else to change, but when they see you being more not diligent, but like disciplined in how you're using your technology, then whether they like it or not, it's going to convict them if they think that, or if they are misusing it or abusing it or whatever, and it's going to give them something to think about. And so, if you start by being the example for just the people around you, I think that's a really good thing, and also for yourself because you're going to notice a difference in yourself too. And like Caitlin said, we connected through technology, so it's not that we think it's all bad or that it's not useful or helpful. And like I said, it's supposed to be a tool. That's what it was created for, was to be a tool. A phone was so that you could call somebody, so you could connect with them from a longer distance away, or so like at its core, it's not a bad thing. There's certain things that are just bad within the technology, but at its core, the main functions of it are meant to help us as a tool when we need it, not when it demands it from us because we're so controlled by it.
Well, and like you said, when there's the right time to be using it and for the right reasons, it's a tool,
Mm.
and it works great. And everybody that is involved with that, the rewards are there. When we use it wisely, we get, it works very well.
You can check out our Unplug 31 challenge, but one of the challenges in there is we asked people, or one of the action steps is we asked people to plan a face-to-face hangout. And sometimes, like, depending on geographically where you're located or, whether it's family or friends or whatever, you might not be able to plan it in person and then have it in person. But you can use it in a healthy way to, for example, Isaiah's not on this video, but his birthday was just yesterday, and we were able to set up some surprises for his birthday by utilizing technology to arrange it. But then once we had the like little surprise party or whatever, we were in person, we were connecting with people in person, and it wasn't technology that was like actually the center of what we were doing, but it did help us to be able to do something that was special and meaningful and healthy, I guess you would say. So like that's where we're saying it can be used that way. It's just it takes discipline, it takes teaching yourself and actually just unplugging. And then once you've started unplugging and realizing kind of the things we've encouraged you to do, whether it's writing down a list of what distracts you or maybe what's unhealthy about what you're using your technology for, then you can start using it intentionally too.
And
Well, I
having
think
healthier habits. Go ahead.
no, sorry. But
Go.
no, like you were saying, healthier habits, and just like some examples, like the wrong time to use social media, or not social media, just your phone in general, to replace real connection with others. Don't use it to replace real connection. Don't use it to replace prayer or time with God. Don't use it to avoid maybe the emotions or the things that God's trying to tell you. Don't use it to avoid those things. We talked about just recently on mental attire, ignorance is not bliss. So don't use it to replace, God trying to tell you something, but do use it to encourage others, maybe to send scripture, just to send, hey, thinking about you today. You never know what that could mean to someone else, or just to grow, whether that's learning on, a podcast, or learning on maybe a Bible on your phone, or use it to create a community where you can message back and forth and be uplifting. I think those are just some examples of when we should use it or how we should use it in a right way.
Well, and I think you look at, like we've mentioned, you put God first, and that's who to trust and go to first. And then working on our own mental and physical health, keeping ourselves healthy mentally and physically. And part of that is, okay, what are we doing with it? How is it helping us? How can we use it to help us with that? And then family and relationships, friendships, and with business and all of that, any kind of usage on our technology with whatever kind it is, just keeping it healthy.
Something else that we've talked about too is that there can be two extremes. It can be you don't use technology at all because like you don't want that to be in your life at all, or there's people who really misuse and abuse their technology, and either extreme is not good in my opinion, because we do live in a world with technology and where it is a tool that can be used when we use it wisely. And so it's a matter of, just like we've been saying, is find, I don't want to say the right balance for you, because I think there's a somewhat of a right balance for everyone. It also depends on like what you do for work or that kind of thing. But it's like it comes down to being responsible, actually. That's the base of it, is you're responsible for how you use it. And when you're not being responsible with using it, I don't think it's a tool. I think it's a toy, basically. It becomes less of a tool and less helpful and less even meaningful, I guess you would say. And I'm not really sure where I'm going with that, so
Well, I would say just set boundaries. Set boundaries that do keep you healthy. Like, is your phone going to, are you using it? Is it serving your purpose, or is it stealing maybe your focus? So I definitely encourage setting those healthy boundaries. I think we all could use that, whether that's we talk about in our Unplug 31 challenge. Don't do some do not disturbs, or set some focus modes. Choose some phone-free zones. Build in like days where you're having a just a whole phone-free day. It can really be freeing, and I would encourage set those boundaries that do keep you healthy.
So, takeaways for today, or do you have any other? I would say my takeaway would be, like they've already mentioned, making a list. We talk about that a lot. Make that list of what do I use any kind of technology for. There's all different forms of technology. How does it help? How is this enhancing my life and the lives of anyone I interact with? And then make on the other side of it, okay, how does it hurt me? And how am I hurting myself and others? Or how does it bring me down? How does it drain me? How does it harm me? Work in a direction that God would not want for me.
Mhm. I think my takeaway would be that, and we talk about this a lot in our mental attire because we're talking about what you're mentally clothing yourself with. So I'm going to kind of cross them together with this. Work on your mental attire surrounding technology. What are your thoughts on it? Why, and you can make this as a list too. I think that that's the best way to do it, maybe, just because it's on paper. You can see it. What are your thoughts surrounding it? What are the unhealthy thoughts that you have surrounding it, or unhealthy habits, I guess you would say, but, and then what are the healthy ones? And if you have done or used it in negative ways or even dangerous or not less meaningful ways, then evaluate those, face those, and whatever you need to do to face those, and then start just in your mind, start rewiring it to see it as a tool, that you are the master over it, and you have boundaries, like Caitlin was saying, to use it only for good and to be that tool that it's meant to be. So I guess my takeaway would be to evaluate it and change your mental attire of your mental thoughts on how you view it, so then you can use it the way that it's intended. Or I would encourage you to step away if you need a break from it, and take the time, even if it's a few hours or whatever it is, or longer. Remember that God and family and life should come before the technology, and if you need to take some time to remember that and put that first, then I would encourage you to take that too.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, I go back to the simple phrase that I learned as a kid, what would Jesus do? And like with every post, with every text message you're sending, with every time you're picking up your phone, ask yourself, that question, but also, what's my intention behind this? Your technology should be, if you're going to use it wisely, use it righteously, use it in a way that will uplift others, not bring them down. Life isn't meant to be any sort of a competition, because I feel like you see that a lot on social media. It's meant to uplift. It's not meant to drain us or somebody else. We're all going through different things. So I would say end your day, start your day with God's words, set those boundaries, make those lists, and ask yourself, is this helping me connect with God and connect with others, or is it taking me away from that?
So we would invite you to watch the quiet time video under our mental attire. That just explains what, taking time with God and reflect, and then also doing honest reflections, which they both have mentioned, and Cleopatra mentioned, facing what we need to face, those elephants that we need to, the unhealthy habits. And we appreciate, go ahead.
I was going to mention that we would also encourage you to check out our Unplug 31 challenge, as it's designed to help you take little action steps each day to work towards unplugging and using your technology in healthier ways. And we'd love to connect with you through that, so we can encourage you and help you with that. We don't expect you to do that alone. Especially if this is new to you, this is a new idea to you, we would encourage you to check that out. You can just find it on our website, or Caitlin can add the link below here so that you can go to the sign up page, and you can just enter for the newsletter, you enter your information, and then you make a membership login, and it's free, but you get access to our videos and our resources there. So we would encourage you to check that out, because that's a really good tool, and we would love to be a part of your journey too.
And we'll also be creating more products to be able to help you unplug and plug into what truly matters. So keep an eye on our website, and like she said, sign up. We'd love to be able to join you on your journey. And we appreciate you. We are thankful for you. No one nor family shall do life alone. So reach out and connect with us, and take care.